In other videos on compound fractions, we covered situations where a fraction was divided by a fraction, and situations where a fraction was divided by a number, or a number was divided by a fraction. And throughout those videos, I emphasized the importance of recognizing the overall algebraic structure of the expression. And I hope that those remarks were helpful at the time. However, now, these examples will really help driving that point home, because there is absolutely no way to evaluate these fractions in a single step. Identifying the structure and systematically working through it is the only way to go. And that's the whole point of these exercises. We don't particularly care about evaluating the kinds of fractions that, quite frankly, you're unlikely to encounter in practical applications. However, what you will have to do all the time, in all applications, is look at mathematical expressions and see them as hierarchical objects. After all, it's the sort of thing that we routinely do in all walks of life. When your favorite artist releases a new album, you see it first and foremost as a collection of songs. Then you listen to each song and you realize that it has an introduction, a verse, and a chorus. Then you listen to those parts and you hear the individual tracks for the vocals and the instruments. And each track is composed of notes. And that is our hierarchical view of a music album. Well, mathematical expressions are hierarchical in the exact same way, except they're simpler, because all parts of a mathematical expression are themselves mathematical expressions. And this simplicity sometimes makes the structure a little bit ambiguous and perhaps a little bit confusing. But it is not by any means difficult to learn to recognize the structure of mathematical expressions. And these wacky fractions are designed to help us do exactly that, learn to recognize the algebraic structure of mathematical expressions. So let's start with this one. What do we see here? Well, because this bar is the widest, what we have is this tall fraction over 5. But this tall fraction we've already analyzed in another video, and the result was 1/6. So the value of this fraction is 1/6 over 5, 1 over 30. All right, let's now turn our attention to this problem, where we have, because this bar is the widest, 1 over this fraction. And once again, we have worked out this fraction before, and the answer was 8 over 3. So here, we have 1 over 8 over 3. And the answer is 3/8. So once again, identifying the structure is the key to solving the problem. And once again, if we hadn't done this fraction before, well, we would have to go on and do it. But it's a simpler fraction than the original problem. And that's what identifying the structure always helps us do. So 3/8. So, as always, identifying the structure of the mathematical expression is of paramount importance. Hey, thanks for watching. Click on this logo to check out our complete SAT math platform. And if you know someone studying for the SATs, please let them know about it. Thank you. Hey, got it on the very first